So you wanna be a picture book writer, then you gotta write picture books. And you're gonna need a bucket load of bright ideas for titles, plots, and hooks. If you're partial to prose or you're raring to rhyme, then repeat after me. It's a challenge, but I'm gonna tackle each story 1 month at a time with 12 by 12.
I will jump right in to Not My Circus. I'm actually going to share my screen, but I get to read it from my book. So, Not My Circus by Janet Sumner Johnson, illustrated by Patrick Corrigan. When Olivia's mom sent her to the market, she was supposed to buy eggs. But Olivia couldn't resist a bargain. Circus for sale, no refunds. She made friends with the animals right away and was thrilled when they agreed to go home with her. Mom was not so thrilled, but she invited the animals in for dinner while they discussed the matter. Dinner did not go well. The monkeys started it, but none of the animals made a good case for themselves. That night, Olivia emailed Mr. Victor. Dear Mr. Victor, these monkeys are troublemakers. Please take the circus back. Sincerely, Olivia. But Mr. Victor didn't care. Dear Olivia, not my circus, not my monkeys. Good luck, Mr. Victor.
A few people are asking what the word count is, and I usually don't ask that question of guests because it's available. You can find it online, but since several people have asked, and I think the reason they're asking is because there's so much going on in the illustrations, but the words seem pretty spare, actually.
You know, I don't have that memorized. It was something like 400 when it sold, maybe even 350 to 400. So it was definitely a lower word count. And I felt like with this picture book, it was longer initially. Obviously, through revision, I was able to refine that and get it down to the words that really mattered. And I knew that pictures were going to be hugely important in this book, that's where I wanted a lot of the humor to come from, and I wanted to leave that space. So I did cut a lot of words from that initial draft. But even that wasn't hugely long. Maybe it was like 550. I love sparse books and sparse words. So if I can possibly get away with cutting things, I do. Not all of my books are as sparse as I would like, I'll be honest. But yeah, this one's pretty short.
Yeah, yeah, but it doesn't feel short. I mean, it feels just right because you need to have the time and the space to take in everything that's going on in the pictures.
Exactly. You know, and I think the one thing sometimes we get so caught up in the word count, but my editors, when I've talked to them, it's less about word count and more about getting the story told in the right way. And I think that knowing where to aim for on word count is important, especially when you're just starting out. It helps you get that feel for the story and the length and what's acceptable and generally speaking in today's world. But once you know that and you've got that down, you have a lot of room to play with that if it's going to make the story better. And so I try not to worry too much about word count when I write. I always check it and see where I stand before I send it to my agent. But I've been very fortunate to have editors who, for them, it's about story and not word count.
Do it together, so never you fear. It's a handy little way to help you kick into gear. You're amazing, exciting. Look out, 'cause you're writing 12 by 12.
12 manuscripts.
12 by 12.
12 picture books.
12 by 12.